Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
Go on, I'll have a lager and lime.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, boys.
Evening, Mark.
Evening, Mark. How are we doing?
Oh, good, thank you.
How are you?
Yeah,
Good. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Although, I've got a conundrum for you.
Oh, yeah?
And this does me head in. I know, it does me head in.
Here we go again.
I know, first world problems and all that. But I'm going to show you a couple of things now, right? And I want you to spot the difference. Okay, so, are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Rob might have some inside knowledge on this.
I'm ready.
Okay.
So, there we've got
Is that toothpaste?
2 tubes, identical. Can you see?
Colgate.
Colgate.
Sensitive.
Yeah, we're not being sponsored, by the way.
Yeah.
They're identical packets, yeah?
Yes.
Identical tubes.
yeah.
Both say instant relief, yeah.
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 Have they got
Yeah.
different names? Yeah. Oh, no.
What's all that about?
Different
Ah,
caps.
the
So you've got
caps.
to unscrew that one and you flip that one.
So we've basically got 2 tubes of toothpaste with different lids on.
Well, it's not that the fact
Lids.
that they've got... no, right, listen to me. It's not the fact that they've got different lids. This one has got a twisty lid.
Yeah.
You have to unscrew, take off, put to one side, dispense your toothpaste, pick up the lid, screw it back on, brush your teeth, and away you go.
Yes.
Yes.
This one, flip it open, squeeze your toothpaste, close it, put it down. Done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And they're both the same brand.
Exactly. Well, exactly the same. And the thing is, that lid on there used to be on this one. I switched them because I can't stand using the lid where you've got to
Yeah.
unscrew it.
You know what, Mark? I do exactly the same. In fact, I keep those. I've got about 4 of those flip lids.
I don't keep the
them.
lids.
I
It
keep
was
them.
literally because I got an empty tube.
No, I keep them.
And I don't save the.
Seriously.
I bet you keep them in your garage
for?
with all your
Yeah,
cables.
Not in my garage. I keep them in my bathroom.
Just in
What
case.
for?
Yeah.
Because I'm with Mark on this. When I buy them, I can't see them because they're in a box, aren't they? I mean, first of all, why are they in a box? Why? So I can't open the box to see what cap they've got on because it doesn't tell you on the box. This toothpaste has got.
That's the thing.
It doesn't tell you. So I
listen,
keep them just in case I get one of them.
The only thing I can think is because that one you can stand up upside down on its lid. So I thought, well, perhaps that's a thing. But advertise it and say, right, you might like this lid because you can balance it on the lid.
Yeah.
This
By
other
the
one
way-
has to lay down, but you can open it with one hand and put it back together.
You know why they do it, don't you?
Go on.
I get one's probably made of more plastic, and they're probably reducing the plastic. I don't know.
Well, no, they're not.
Yeah.
But the reason why I brought
No.
these 2 specifically, and I double checked them before I brought them, obviously, is because I do know that you go to a supermarket and you buy this toothpaste and there's thousands of them in there.
Yeah.
You're like, ah,
It's all the
what?
same, though.
This one's whitener, this one's even whitener, this one's even whitener, this one's more for sensitive teeth and even more sensitive teeth plus, and and you're like, what? That one's on offer. Thank you very much. I'll have a slice of that one. And then you open the box and it's like a lottery. What lid am I getting?
Yeah.
And so I get
That's
it.
why I save them.
Yeah. So, but this time they're identical tubes. And I were blown. Anyway.
To answer your question, Bob, it's not. I mean, it might be to do with plastic, but I don't know when they're going to phase it out because I've been buying this toothpaste for about 2 or 3 years, and I don't know. Like Mark says, I don't know why they go from that lid to that lid.
And I genuinely, when I say it's the plastic, I'm just going by at the minute. Everything, if it's got plastic in it, it gets reduced in size because it's bad for the environment.
And I think you need to get out more, lads. Because
And on that note, you two have been getting out a bit more, haven't you?
We have.
yes,
me and Kurt,
Yeah, got people signing your shirts and everything else. And,
yeah.
Or you're
You look-
signing their shirts, should I say?
You're lucky that we're here tonight. You
Yeah.
know, we've been some
Doing
red carpet
autographs.
events. That
We are in the midst of celebrities tonight.
Indeed, you are.
I
Yes.
think you might need to tell everyone what you've been up to.
Well, we were invited along to BBC Radio Sheffield.
Yes, who else, yeah.
Obviously, me and Kurt went.
Have you been going
guys
out in the middle of the night fixing potholes and they wanted to interview you?
Hey, we could have talked about potholes. But you two couldn't be bothered to come, so me and Kirk had to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
some of us have got a job.
I was going to say, I'm working nights.
Yeah. Well, I've got a job. I mean, what about you, Kirk?
So we went onto the breakfast show, and we were really good.
Excellent.
Obviously to talk about the chatting because believe it or not, boys, we're actually doing all right.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
these numbers are nuts, aren't they?
They are real. Yeah, I mean, to think that we started this as a bit of a laugh and a bit of a getting together and stuff like that. The fact that people are listening and people are really getting. Now we've got interest from local media. It's fantastic. I mean, we've been charting.
I know.
Haven't we?
Yeah.
Unbelievable that. Number one.
Number one and the
And
good,
two, and
on-
three,
and
and
four in the good pod charts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
And then also in the Apple charts.
We've broke in the
Yeah.
top 100. I think we're 75th. I think like that in that
Across the world.
across the world. We're in 40 different countries now.
Go on, boys.
So
It's exciting, isn't it?
yeah, but it were really good to talk about it.
It was really good. I mean, we were on 10 minutes, but she was asking us questions about how we started, how we got together, what we talk about. It would just give a great exposure.
Did you end
for
up
us.
doing the travel, Mark?
Can't we insert a little sample for him to listen to?
We absolutely can. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let's play it.
There we go.
BBC Radio Sheffield. Right, the time now is 7:35 on your Tuesday. If you're like me, you love to know what people are chatting about all the time. I love to people watch. I like to play the game Lucky Likes as well wherever I go, but this isn't about this. I like to figure out what people are saying. Well, now you can really, because just like having a conversation down the pub, four men in Rotherham, Rob Benny, Kirk Stevenson, Mark Hill and Mark Lane have started a podcast called The Chat In, and it is literally them catching up over a pint. I have got Kirk and one of the Marks with me in the studio now. They both got cracking teeth, by the way. It was the first thing I noticed when I saw them. Whoa, are they yours? Are they real?
No, they're not. They're not. I'd love to say they are, but they're not. No.
Right, just wanted to get that out of the way. Let's talk about the podcast. Obviously, you're all really good mates. You get on really well. You love to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Why did you want to start this? You've only been doing it 4 months.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of the things that we realised that we just didn't see each other enough. Life gets in the way so much, and we've known each other for so long, over 2 decades.
That long?
And, yes, that long, that long, yeah. And we just wanted a reason, if you like. There was always a reason not to see each other. So we just wanted a reason of getting together. So we all decided, we're kind of creative types. We all like to create stuff, and we thought, well, why not? So I sent an email to the guys and said, let's just get on with it and do something. Let's just meet up, get together, press record on some microphones, and see what happens.
What was your reaction to that initially?
Well, Kirk has some crazy ideas at times, and he'll vouch for that. But this one weren't too bad. So I thought, you know what? It sounds a good idea. It gets us together, as Kirk said. We don't see each other much, so for me, it were a no-brainer. I was in, and then when the other 2 lads, Rob and Mark, said we're in, we thought this is a goer. So yeah,
I'll tell you what, you sounded fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Did you listen to it live as well?
I woke up after a night shift just to listen to it.
Do you know, I was driving, I won't say exactly where, but up towards Pontefract area, and I got it on DAB, and it would, listening to the build-up, because they gave us a pre-run thing, didn't they, on the news, and it was like, wow, this is fantastic. And then she started talking, introduced you, and my DAB started doing that blub, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I had to find somewhere to pull over, open up the bloody BBC app thing, put my Bluetooth. So I disconnected my Bluetooth so nobody rang me while I was listening to it to interrupt because I wanted to listen to it. So I had to switch my Bluetooth back on, open the app, Bluetooth it to my car, and play it from the app. I don't know.
Can I ask, were you nervous?
Yeah, of course.
yeah, we're a
Of
little
course.
bit nervous.
You're going out live. I mean, come on, we've been on the Beeb. Who was on the Beeb?
Yeah, so was a bloke in a shell suit.
Yeah.
Oh, you about?
Now then, but yeah, you're out there live, and we didn't know what we were going to be asked. We didn't know, but at the end of the day, we've been talked about something that we're doing, and that we've created, So absolutely, but it doesn't stop there, does it?
No, we're all on this next one, aren't we?
We're all on it. You've decided to turn up to next one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's today.
Oh, yeah, yes, we're there today.
Yeah, once we finish
Got
this.
another one.
We're there today, so that's on Rotherham Radio,
And Doncaster
and
Radio.
then we're going on to Doncaster Radio.
Yeah.
So local celebrities.
Honestly, if you want a signed copy of anything, just let us know. And
We'll
we'll
be opening
post
your
it out
local
to you.
garden centre sometime soon, cutting the ribbon.
Yeah. We'll be switching
You
some
are
Christmas
100th
lights on.
customer. Here's some tulips.
Yeah, and do you know what, guys? It's all testament to you guys that are listening and supporting us. Again, we started off with from absolutely nothing. Didn't really have a clue what we're.
We've got less than that now.
We've got less than that, yeah. But we, and the fact that people are listening and downloading every week and sharing our stuff on socials and getting in contact with us and giving us something to talk about
Yeah.
sometimes.
Thanks for humouring us.
Yes, yeah. And that we're even going to be going forward for the British Podcast Awards this year. So
We are, yeah.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah,
You've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? Why not?
You've got to be in it to win it. Absolutely. So yeah, onwards and upwards is what I say.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Hey, I know this is a bit random, but talking about achievements and stuff, I saw something on Facebook the other day, and it made me think, do you know what? I'm going to ask the boys this question.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, it's a bit sport related, right? And I know we don't normally do sport.
Okay.
Only because I don't know about
Yeah,
it.
we
I
don't
know
know
nothing
anything
about
about sport,
sport.
do we? But it is a bit sport related, but it did get me thinking about, it is an interesting question. So, I think you all know sport enough to be able to answer this question. What do you think is the biggest achievement to be able to do? A 147 in snooker, a 9-darter in darts, or a hole-in-one in golf?
All right, when you say the biggest achievement, what are you talking financially rewarding? Or
Sorry, no. The hardest thing to do.
Okay.
Let's say, what do we think the hardest thing to do is?
Okay.
A 147 in snooker, a 9-darter in darts, or a hole-in-one in golf?
I'm going to say a hole-in-one in golf, because I've played all the sports that you're saying, not to any level, but I just think that getting a hole-in-one in golf, for me, over the distance that you're trying to get a very small ball in a very small hole, I just think that's harder.
I know more people that have had a hole-in-one in golf than I do have done a 147 in snooker.
And do you think that's because there's an element of, quite a lot of element of luck involved in a hole-in-one in golf?
Yeah, the thing, I mean, have you seen size of a snooker table when it's not on telly? It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
going
bigger than our kitchen.
I'm gonna agree with you, Mark. I think hole in one. I think part of that's a bit fluky. I don't even think there's much skill in it.
Well, there is skill.
There is a bit of skill.
Have you ever held a golf club, Mark?
Yeah, but there's a little bit. I think there's a bit of skill in hole in
And
one.
I think
but
when I said-
but there's no skill. There's no luck in 147s. There's
When
no.
I said
that
what I
ball's
said-
gone in.
Yeah.
When I said what I said, I meant that the person almost said, right, watch this, I'm going to put an hole-in-one. Boom. And can actually get it in, almost off word, which I'm guessing is no one can do that off word. But in order to say that they can just do it, that's where I go, I would find that a harder thing to be able to achieve just off the, I can do that, than someone...
Hey, it's World Snooker Championships as well, isn't it? Excited. Do you watch snooker?
One of them where I'll just, if it's on, I'll put it on to fall to sleep too, but...
Just going back to the snooker thing as well, you got to remember that we're talking about one ball in one hole. We're 147. We're talking numerous balls.
Yeah.
Every shot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that, of course, there's going to be skill in getting a hole in one. You know, I'm saying there's a bit of luck. There is, but there's no.
So we're not getting
to,
invited to any golf clubs soon, are we?
No. But I mean,
Chasing
with
Mark down the
snooker, I think
first.
it's far harder.
Just to put it out there, I've no idea what 147 in snooker is, so I'm not really. I don't really know what you're on about. That's why I think it's a lot harder getting a small ball in an hole.
You do it and you take a shot of Sambuca.
Yeah.
Once you get to
147 times.
Well, that must be very hard.
Yeah. But that, I mean, I find it sometimes frustrating to watch, but I mean, I've just been watching the Masters. Because I do enjoy watching the Masters.
Golf or snooker?
The golf.
Because there's a Masters snooker, isn't there?
Yes.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
well done. But yeah, and it's just how sportsmen and athletes, how they can make such a difficult thing to do. Let's face it, any sport, when we've tried to go for a game of snooker or go for a game of golf or whatever, it just seems impossible, doesn't it? It just seems impossible to do.
To meet up to have a game of snooker?
Well, yeah.
That's what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, to actually find space in people's diary. But they make it look so easy.
Yeah,
They make it look so
It's
easy.
like they've got a remote. But same with golf though. They play shots, and it's like they've got a remote control on the ball.
Yeah.
It just. Right, I'm going to just tee out of this. Not tee out, but the one I saw a bit at Masters, and there were this bunker, and it weren't a bunker. It was a beach. It was massive. It must have been like 40 meters square. It was huge, and this guy played this shot out of the middle of it, straight onto green. It's the pin. What?
Yeah.
I'd take me out to anyone that can, anything that they are absolutely
I'd
nailed
have been
on.
8 foot deep digging old sand up with club trying to
Yeah,
get
just
out.
keep going.
I mean, I'd
Yeah.
be saying if he's a professional golfer, what's he doing in the sand in the first place? It shouldn't even be in sand if he's a professional.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but the courses are designed to do that, though.
Talking about golf, I think crazy golf is hard. I think that's more skill than golf. Because when I play crazy, listen, seriously, when I'm playing crazy golf and I'm trying to get all in one, I mean, I've got windmills in way, I've got slides in way.
I'm going to put this into George Washington's mouth and watch it come out of his backside and hope that it goes in the
I'll
hole.
tell you,
And
tell
when
you
a
if Tiger Woods is any good when I've seen him on a crazy golf
Well,
course.
And when professionals are playing, there's nothing in their way. I've got all sorts of obstacles, so I think it's harder. So I rest my case. Definitely.
Mark's going to start his own world championship of crazy golf.
Hey, I'm good at crazy golf.
Coming soon to Dave.
That must exist.
I don't think
A world
I
championship
don't think
in
it
crazy
does.
golf.
It does.
Surely.
Hey.
Wait, hey there, we got some
Because
there.
that would
Here
get
we
some
go.
right viewings.
I'd watch it. In fact, I'd take part as a professional. Definitely.
Who says you're good enough?
It's a great idea.
Have you not seen me at Crazy Golf?
I have seen you at crazy
I've
golf.
played crazy golf around the world in Spain, Florida. Honestly, I've toured.
I've got a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Why don't we organise a tournament on a crazy golf course for charity?
Hey,
Let's see if we can get some
okay.
people involved. What do you
not?
reckon?
that's a
Why
good
not?
idea.
That's a
that.
great idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea, yeah.
A crazy golf, almost like a Ryder Cup. We could do it. We could do it based on the same kind of format as Ryder Cup.
Yeah, we could build it up. So if we get a few names coming through from people, so right, we're going to play it here. You know, get some people to put themselves forward, raise some money for a charity. We'll pick the charity.
Do they have to pay to enter?
The teams.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be for the charity.
Yeah.
And obviously cover the. To do
I
it.
bet we could get Golf Fang involved in Sheffield.
Oh,
Golf fan.
I've never been
Oh,
there.
come on.
This professional crazy golfer.
I've toured all over the world.
And you
haven't
have
you?
Crazy
one in
golf
Sheffield.
impresario.
Are you talking about a crazy golf course?
Yeah, in Sheffield.
Wait, what's it called?
Golf Fang.
Where's that?
Sheffield. I've said it enough
I
times.
can't believe
Where
you've
is
never.
it?
Golf Fang
It's in Sheffield.
is one of the.
Sheffield.
I mean, you remember that advert, that Scotch advert? Re-record, not fade away.
Whereabouts in
Re-record, not
Sheffield?
fade away.
Where?
Where is it?
I don't know Sheffield enough to tell you
What,
whereabouts it is.
have you not been?
Yes, I have been. Yeah.
But you don't know where it is.
No.
So how did you get there?
I
Were you
followed somebody else.
were you
I followed
blindfolded?
somebody else.
But the point being that Golf Fang is a very large franchise now of crazy golf. And I'd say in the UK,
I don't know.
I don't know.
it's definitely not just in Sheffield.
Well, they've not been in touch with me.
Yeah, you rocking up in your green jacket.
The Tiger Woods of crazy golf
Yeah,
here.
that's
The only
me.
thing you've got in common is that you're bold.
Who's bold?
In Tiger Woods, he's gone bold now, hasn't he?
Has he?
Or has he not?
Well,
Maybe.
the back of his
We
head.
don't know.
The
Yeah,
back of his
maybe.
head,
Yeah.
But no, I definitely think that we could get Golf Fang involved and do it for charity.
Let's do something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Watch this space, guys.
Yes.
Start planning your crazy golf teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you three's no chance against
Just
me.
on a side note, we've had somebody's bought us a pint.
Oh, have
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Just one. We a straw. We all get
Yeah,
straws in.
somebody's bought a pint between us, bless him. A guy called Darren San. Thank you very much, Darren. He
Yeah.
sent some nice words.
Thanks,
saying you were
Darren.
enjoying
Thank
it,
you.
And he's bought us a pint. That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, thank you very
Well,
much.
hang on. We won't need 4 straws, will you? Because you won't be drinking it, Kirk.
No.
Kirk needs an umbrella for his drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, speaking about what you said, Kirk, about like sporting achievements and stuff like that, and the amount of time that these people put into these sports to become as good as they are to do what they do. Have you ever put so much time and effort into something or someone or anything, but then been left feeling very underwhelmed by the response or by the outcome? Has that ever happened to you?
Well, I think it can happen in life, can't it? I mean, I bought a business quite young at an age.
12.
At the age of, well, not that much older, in all fairness, at the age of 22, I bought a pub. So
Yeah, I
I grew,
remember The Barrow Boy.
the Barrow Boy, yes, in Chesterfield, shut down now. But, you know, I grew up in pubs. Mum and Dad ran pubs for Whitbread. So I grew up in pubs. And me and a friend of mine decided that we were going to give it a go into the pub world. We went to get a local pub to here. And the brewery decided that because we were young lads, we could have a bigger pub in a town centre in Chesterfield. And we went, and it were buzzing. We thought we'd done everything right. We thought we'd done his research right, but we got screwed over a bit. We did get.
You were
screwed
sold the
over.
dream, weren't you?
We were sold the dream.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we were
I
sold
wouldn't
the
say
dream.
a bit. I'd say a lot.
We
but-
got screwed over a lot. Yeah. And so that was something that was very exciting. We had to put a lot of work into it, as you can imagine, running a pub. And we did put a lot of
8 pints a day.
Yeah, we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. But even though it wasn't a failure as such, we took that pub that in the end it was only generating about £700 a week when we first took it over.
Right.
And by the end of the first year, we were turning over £7,000 a week.
Wow.
In revenue. So I see it as it was an achievement. I mean, to go from £700 to £7,000 a week in the space of 12 months was a fantastic performance achievement that we did. However, in that time, in that 12 months, obviously there was the cost of running the business that we just didn't have that money and that capital to make it work after that, because even at £7,000 a week it was only breaking even. So
overall, although the overall thing failed, for want of a better word, but you took your small wins that you still did achieve.
Yeah, oh my God! I mean, I learned so much. I learned so much about life. I mean, we were too young at the end of the day to do what we were doing, and we were very naive. We got sold down the river big time. But I did learn a lot, and I did learn a lot about business. I learned a lot about cash flow. I learned a lot, but yes, in answer to your question, there was that big dream there was that big, look at what this could do and achieve.
And how did that leave you feeling after? So let's say that happened, and you fast forward to 6 months after you'd left the pub. How did that leave you feeling?
Well, very low. Because obviously, but I ended up leaving with issues, financial issues and stuff like that. So, there's the pride thing. Your pride's hurt. You'd obviously told your family and friends this is what you were going to do, and a year later it hasn't worked. It flattens you. It does flatten you.
Mark, have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah, well, yeah, with my own business, yeah. I mean, I think, you all know I DJ, which I've done for a long time, but within my business, because I would generally work within hotels, going back some years, I thought, well, let's branch out. Let's start doing other things what wedding sort of DJs do. So I started a chocolate fountain business. When there was, I won't say when they were first coming on the scene, because that's part of the problem why it sort of failed a little bit. But I had 2 chocolate fountains, but by
big
that,
ones as well, weren't they? They were massive.
Yeah, we're talking
massive.
Like sort of industrial. We're not talking these like what you buy from B&M's, where you put like a couple of cream eggs in a chocolate bar. We're talking industrial type ones.
Marshmallows.
Yeah. Saying that bit. So they were. We talk. What? How much were they? When we bought £6,000 for these chocolate fountains. I bought
each,
and I bought 2. But I were a little bit late to the market, because within the wedding industry, you've got to be quick with these things. Photo booths, LED dance floors. That's
photo booths. Is that like a Lord of the Rings booth that you go and have a picture taken with people?
So you have to be quick. So I'm a little bit late to party with them, and so that I throw a lot of money. I take a lot of time, a lot of energy as you do with a business. Similar to Kirk, it's your own business, it's your own baby. You want to put all your time and everything into it to make it successful. And then at the same time, I thought, well, let's do more stuff. So then I set up a spark cloth, like a backdrop for weddings, love letters, doing all that as packages. But the problem is, because I'm a bit of a one-man band, I was taking my eye off my disco business a little bit. And when I were doing wedding fairs,
and when you were walking around, you kept clapping your cymbals behind you.
yeah. In fact, that's an idea. Yeah. And by that point, the market had got really saturated. So, for an example, I was doing a wedding fair once, and as you do as a business, you sort of go around asking what the other people are doing. And I was sort of going around and speaking to Billy or whatever. What would you do? Oh, we do dance floors, we do chocolate fountains, we do this, we do everything. You go to the next company. Well, what do you do? We do chocolate fountains, we do dance floors, we do discos. Yeah. Everybody's doing the same. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because bride and grooms want to sort of ideally buy everything from one company or business. They don't want to have to go to separate ones. And I just thought that it was like a switch that came on. I thought to myself, you know what? It's too saturated for this. The market's too saturated. I'm going to cut my losses, and I'm going to go back to my core business, because I were losing sight of my disco business. So that's what I did. But that were you could say it's an achievement, because it's something I wanted to do, and I did it. but you could also say it was a disappointment for me because it didn't succeed as like my disco business did.
So do you regret doing it?
No, I don't. I don't regret it. I mean, it's easy to say you regret things, and you could say that, but then you don't learn from things.
Yeah.
You learn
I
from a
think
lot
it's
of things.
important. Regret what you don't, not what you do.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a believer in regret, to be honest.
No.
I'm not. You can't change it. You can't.
No.
You can't do
No.
anything about it. So learn from it.
Yeah.
Learn
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing you can
Absolutely, you learn from it. You just do something and you learn from it. So
Absolutely.
now it's just my core business that I do and stuff.
What
So,
about you, Rob?
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason why I asked the question was because we've
You look
definitely.
like you've been like modelling somewhere. Have you been to a photo shoot?
do. Catalogue.
just-
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It looks like he's just
I'm
stepped over a
I'm
catalogue.
sat next to somebody from Great Universal.
I just fancied
and
making an
for,
effort.
And for the benefit of the tape, he's actually sat posing with his
Yeah.
arms behind his.
No, I-
so you guys can't see, but
Chilled out. I just thought I'd make an effort for you boys because
Oh,
you're
thank you
worth
very
the
much.
effort.
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
The
I'm
reason-
tearing up.
L'Oreal,
I'm
isn't it?
tearing up.
Oh yeah. No. The reason why I said it, I guess, was because I know I've said before about we've talked about the Glastonbury video, but I've got a YouTube channel, and I'm not going to go into that. But
You can do if you want.
no, I don't need. It's called The Big Toe, spelt T-O-W.
I thought you said
if
you weren't
wanna
gonna
look
go
at
into it.
I wasn't.
I gave you permission.
But the point is that as a content creator, and there's different types of content creators, but if you were a content creator making videos or content for a business, your end client is the business, right? You don't care what the listeners of that business think to it. All you care about is what the client thinks. If they like it, you've done a good job. You can walk away and go, pat on the back, they enjoy it, they liked it, and I feel proud of myself. When you make something for YouTube or any other realm of that sort, what you govern how good that video was or how successful you were is the people that watch the video, and it's not one person. And it's normally how you view it as successful or not is the number of people that have watched it and some of the thumbs up and whatnot. So I've just released a Glastonbury video, which I think it took me about 5 months to make, and the heart and time that went into it was just so much.
You
And
can
then-
tell because it's absolutely incredible.
It is incredible, Rob.
Well, thank you.
It is
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate
it.
that.
It really is. It's good.
And then so when you release it and you have this expectation of, obviously, I don't want to say that comparing it to other people because that's not what I'm talking about, but you do have an expectation of, well,
Yeah.
I've seen that video had that many views and that video had that many views, and then yours comes to the crunch and bang, it's near enough 2,000. Now, I know 2,000 views is nothing to be snubbed at, but when you see other videos that have had 20,000, 200,000, and you just feel
Because
a little
somebody
bit
accidentally farted halfway through doing it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
like you know, and that's the thing. Again, I don't want to take it back to why other people's are lesser quality but get more views. It's not about that. It's just about the fact that you put so much time and so much effort and the detail that I went into, and then when it comes out, it's like meh. And it does have an effect on you for a period. And I know now it's been out for 3 weeks, I think. But for the first week after, maybe halfway into the second week, I just fed up.
Deflated.
Yeah,
You
really fed up. You know, because you've put so much time in,
of
and,
course. Yeah.
and you build up this thing like this is like your baby. I'm getting ready to release it. You almost feel like Steven Spielberg is just about to release his next premiere. You're like waiting. I've got the marker pen ready. I've got the cards ready for sick autographs.
Your autographs.
Get ready.
Practicing your autograph.
Yeah, get ready, Glastonbury. You have no idea what's about to hit you.
Is it almost like, Rob, like, because as you said, it took you 5 months, so you sort of nurture this thing. It's yours. Nobody else has sort of seen it.
Yeah.
You nurture it, you make it how you want, and then you're almost releasing it to the public domain, which you
Yeah.
are, and then you're sort of passing it over to us guys, or, the world, and then they're not sort of looking after it, or does it feel like then, like, well,
Not giving it the attention that
the
it
attention,
deserves.
the TLC,
Yeah.
and like, I've nurtured that
Yeah.
for 5 months, and they've gone, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gets
Is that
worse
how
because
it
you look
feels?
into you look into the analytics of this video, and you see that people have watched 7 seconds and gone nah, and you think, wow, 7 seconds. It's 25 minutes long. we're never going to keep you for the old video.
I'm never going to get an advert at the start of this.
Chuffing hell. You know, you think, and obviously, well, actually, I think mine do have adverts in, but I don't get paid for them adverts. But you think, how have they even got past advert to watch it? Why have they gone, nah,
Hi,
no.
I'm
I'm not bothered about Colgate toothpaste advert. I'm gone. I wanted to watch Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just think, oh my gosh. But yeah, so I mean, the point I'm making is just how much of an effect it has on you when you put so much time into something and it doesn't happen.
Because it's just a vast chasm, the internet, though, isn't it? That you put it out there. There's nothing to say that. And I know you wouldn't be necessarily happy at 3 or 4 years, but it could go years down the line, and then it could be absolutely huge once it's properly found.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like throwing a drop of seed into the ocean and hoping for loads of fish to come and have a go at it.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I suppose I don't know why fish eat seeds, but they don't do that. And that's probably why they won't come to the seed. You know what I mean? But so there are songs that have been around for decades, and then it'll end up in a TV program, and then all of a sudden it's number one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying your video, but it only takes for somebody on the BBC or Emily Evis, Michael Evis, or somebody just to go, this is incredible. They run it, and, you know, or...
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've released a couple of other videos. One of them, which has had, I think it's had 23,000 views.
Wow.
And I spent, don't get me wrong, I still spent a lot of time on it because that's pretty much me. I do spend quite a lot of time on them, perfecting them and getting them right. Yeah. And that one has done well. So it's not all, you know, woe is me and you know. But yeah, I just wondered how it affects you. Have you had any experiences of that, Mark?
To be honest, I've never really been brave enough to go for anything.
Well,
I sound like a real
Mark,
underachiever.
you've heard us three, and we're all disappointed, so don't do anything.
Don't bother. Don't get me wrong. You know, we do bits and pieces, we do gigs and whatever, and you play to an empty room and you think, oh, this is a bit rubbish, or you know, you put your whole in something. I've never really gone and chased a dream like I perhaps could have done. I could have chased DJing, for example, and I know people were telling me when I was younger, I could have made it and I could have, you know, travelled and whatever else. And I didn't. I don't know whether I had the heart or whether I didn't have the backbone to take the potential rejection, to put yourself out there, to go, I wouldn't be able to deal with being told, no, it's not for you, or, you know, you're not for us, or anything like that. So I've always probably picked and choosed my fights, if that's the right word, and gone for, you know, stuff that I thought, do you know what, I think I can do a good job of that, and without sounding too big-headed, because I've never really scaled ridiculously. They've done all right in terms of what my expectations were. So, in terms of successful in terms of national, international, anything, no. But you know, I've come away from little projects that I've done, and I thought, you know what, I'm proud I did that. So, you know, so yeah, that's probably it for me. And I've always ever only worked for other people, so I've never really chased a self-employment or anything like that.
I've thought about this for quite a while, about the videos that I put out and how it makes me feel. And when I was thinking about it, something else popped into my head that is, you'll all identify with this. When we talk about putting time and effort into something or someone, and then you're not getting the what you expect out of it, we had a friend that I know I put a lot of time into over the years, and it was a friendship that and there'll be a lot of listeners out there that have done the same. You've met a person, be it a friend, and you put time into that person, and they put time into you, and you form a friendship. Exactly what us four have got around this table. Mm-hmm. But what we've done is we've equally put in to that friendship over the years, and this is why we're still friends now, and this is where we are. But in this occasion, I made a friend with someone and put a lot of time in, a lot of effort to form trust. You know, you form trust with that person, and you create like a bond, and then slowly but surely, when it's not met by both parties, it can break down, can't it?
Yeah.
And that friendship broke down. And I can't say that I'm not partly guilty for it, but you boys know who I'm talking about. And that actually has had a bigger, profound effect on me over the years than anything else. I often think back to that friendship and think, what did I do wrong for that friendship to not still be here now? What did I do wrong? Yeah. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. But I definitely weren't squeaky clean. But I just know that they were. I just know that we've just said it. We don't have regrets, but yeah, I regret not having that friendship still.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And I know it wasn't my fault. And I know that again, you guys also know the person. And I just think it's really sad that I haven't got that friendship. And I feel as though I put a lot of time into that, and as did you guys. And to not have that now, it's a real shame.
I think sad and shame is the right word.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing is, when you say about how you could feel regret or sadness that it's not still there, I think it's important to go back to what you were saying before, Rob, that friendships, relationships even, as of that, they're a two-way street. And if they break down for whatever reason, then there's no point in wishing that was still around, because it means that other person, wasn't willing to put that effort in. And do you want someone like that in your life?
Yeah.
So, it's not a case of, oh, well, I wish that I still had that friendship or that relationship or whatever it is with that other person, because would you want that in your life?
Yeah.
If that, you only want people in your life. We're all at an age now where we know what we like.
Yeah.
We know what we don't like.
Yeah.
We accept, we've all got our own little quirks around the table now, and we accept it of each other because of the love that we have for each other.
Yeah.
But it's balanced. It's balanced. And the reason why you are where you are in your life when it comes to friendships, relationships, or whatever is for a reason. It's for a reason. It's a reason that you complement each other in life.
They're like emotional transactions, aren't they?
They are exactly like
Yeah,
emotional
exactly
transactions.
that. Yeah.
It's not something that you're conscious of, but it's there, isn't it? It's on the subliminal. Would you say maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
But something. I mean, there is obviously conscious effort, but a lot of it is probably unconscious. Is probably the right word, not subliminal.
I think the worrying or dangerous thing when it comes to anything like that, when it comes to whether it's trying something new, putting your heart and soul into tasks and events or whatever it is, putting your heart and soul into being self-employed and businesses, is that the strength needed when it doesn't work to not let it putting you off trying something new again or trying it again. You've just said that about your video. I can imagine that in your head there's been times over the past couple of weeks where you've thought, I'm not doing it anymore.
What's point?
Yeah. And if you let that get on top of you, that will be such a shame, because the talent you have, I've told you this time and time again, Rob, is the vision you have is incredible. And the talent that you have for producing the videos that you do, and not just that, the way that you are on camera as well. I've said for a long time you should be on TV.
Well, that woman on Facebook, not just that woman, but there were loads of people were commenting and saying, I don't know what you do for a day job, but you shouldn't be doing it. You need to be a presenter. And the fact that you weren't just presenting, you were directing it, editing it, producing it,
Filming
and then featuring.
You need to be the next Gladiators presenter.
Presenter, yeah.
You do.
I mean, I'll take that if you're listening,
Absolutely.
BBC.
You and Barney.
No.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah, he'll be soon out of a job. They'll be like, why have we got Barney and Rob? Just get rid of Barney. We don't need him. But following on from what Kirk said, I mean, Kirk's right, but we also knew you, Rob, that won't knock you down. That you will get back up. Of course, you're going to be disappointed from it. Who wouldn't? It's a natural thing. But at the same time, you won't be, flailing about on the floor going, well, that's it, I'm giving up. But you'll feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that with my business sometimes, and I think we're all that. But you're better than that, and you will rise above it, and you'll go, I'm going to do some more.
It's
I'm
fair
going
to
to carry on.
say it's a bit like what I've just said about the friendship breaking down. The friendship didn't break down. I go, well, that's it. I'm not making any more friends anymore. I am not befriending anyone else.
I'm taking my ball home. That's it.
I'm rubbish at making friends, and therefore I'm not having. That doesn't happen, does it? So I guess, and sometimes it is about putting them in context, isn't it?
Yeah.
With, you wouldn't do that in that instance. This is just the same thing. You put a lot of time and effort into something. It didn't do what you expected. Doesn't mean that it doesn't still do well. It just wasn't what you expected. Get up and get at it again, and
I mean, with the friends thing, don't they say something like in your life? Don't you have like 12 best friends or something on average? I mean, I've never had 12 best friends.
Was 7.
Is it? I don't. I'm just making that figure up. I'm in Rob's head.
I might be making that up.
I'm happy with 4.
But there is. I think
And
you might
you're
be
one
right.
of them.
We can't even bloody manage 4 of us, let alone having more.
I think you're right though, Mark. I think I can't remember what the figure. It might be 7, but I mean, you think, hang on, was 7 best friends? I thought you only like
Not necessarily best friends, but 7 friends.
No, but know, they
friends
do
or
say
what?
you have 7 best. I mean, I've had a best friend from school. I've had a best friend
Yeah.
when I was at college.
What, still alive?
How old might be?
There's 2 of you defying science. Like 2 museum artifacts walking round.
You do find with friends though that you have circles of friends, don't you? So
Yeah.
although like we're one friendship circle, if you
Yeah,
like,
one unit,
but then
yeah.
you might have in your relationship you might have another set of friends or 2 people or whatever.
The way they meet up at the chiropractors.
Yes.
He's going about me HD, Mark.
So, just to change the topic a little bit, I don't know if any of you have seen the news recently, and it'd be interesting to get your take on this, Kirk, because I know you do. They're banning smoking, aren't they, for people that were
Anyone
born in,
over the age of 15, is it? As of this year.
so anyone
born
who
in
was born in 2009
Yeah.
onwards will never be able to buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, is it?
I don't think so. I'm just interested to get your opinions in terms of, in the way that it's being rolled out, and do you think it'll work? Do you think it's the nanny state? What's your thoughts?
I almost feel like I want to look at Kirk first in case
Shall
I
I-
say it, and he goes, "I disagree with you all."
Well, I've got mixed emotions on this
Got some tissues?
because I don't think they should ban smoking outright. Which you probably think that I would say that. I don't know. I mean, banning things is not always a good idea because you've got to let people decide. But should we be letting people smoke? I don't know. Because then there's also a bigger debate about drugs. So, smoking's a drug, but, and then you've got drugs, banned, your Class A drugs and all. I know they're different types of drugs, but it opens a big debate regards to smoking and drugs. Because I'll say this, I think drugs should be regulated and they should be legalised.
You do?
Yeah.
What, people raving in the street and that? Chewing the face?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
I'm only playing devil's advocate,
I'm saying it's a bigger argument because we're never going to win the battle on drugs.
I think
are
what
we?
it does do, it
we-
further cements the fact that they're never going to legalise cannabis. Because if they're banning smoking,
Well, that's what I'm
then I
saying.
can't imagine how
that's
they'd
why.
ever you know.
That's why I've got mixed emotions on it because if you're talking about drugs in general, we're never ever going to beat it. It's never going to be beaten. So we're going down the road of banning smoking. So I think there's debates to be had on both sides with smoking and drugs. But I think that's for another.
Kirk's ready to dive in here. Can you look at his eyes?
That's for another day, I think.
Put it out first before you
Right,
start
come on,
talking.
then. Let's see what Kirk's got to say.
I think the issue is where does it stop? Where does it stop? It's
Yeah.
okay for the likes of you guys to sit around this table and think, I think it's a good thing. Smoking's bad for you and stuff like that. None of you smoke. So therefore, that's what you're going to say. Would you be having the same conversation and if this was banning alcohol? You'd be sat there saying, I'm fine with it, freedom, people's freedoms, people's liberties. Alcohol is dangerous. It's bad for your health. I can tell you something for a fact that it causes more public disturbances and issues and has more of a drain on society's economy when it comes to policing people drinking than what smoking does.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a smoker. It is not a good thing to do. I wouldn't celebrate it or advertise it as such. You shouldn't smoke. I wouldn't want my kids smoking. And that's that. So I understand it from that point of view. But where does it stop? Because if they turn around now and say, right, well, we're banning cigarettes. Anyone born in 2009 onwards will never be able to legally buy a packet of cigarettes. You go, okay, so one day in the future we're going to be a smoke-free nation. Pretty much that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So what next? Is it alcohol next?
Well, are we going to go down the road with alcohol and say because alcohol, as you said, kills more people than smoking.
Well, heart disease is the biggest. Disease is the biggest killer of everything. So what next? Are they then banning saturated fats?
Yeah.
Are they banning takeaways?
Yeah,
Are they
food.
banning fast food?
Yeah.
Are they banning sugar? I know they've got the sugar tax on things that. Where does it stop? And I think sometimes smoking is an easy target. I think it's an easy target.
I must admit, I were absolutely stunned that they announced it purely from a tax point of view. I didn't think they could do without the revenue, but then I suppose I don't know what the costs are in terms of managing the after effects, the health side of things. But I thought that the revenue that the government generated from cigarettes.
Well, they haven't banned vaping, have they? Because that's where the new revenue is.
Well, this is a seized the
Well,
thing.
that's another debate with vaping.
Well,
isn't it?
I was just about to say, I never gave my point in that I don't think they need to do what they're doing because I don't think smoking will exist in 20 years.
think people would
It's
naturally move
automatically
over.
going because it's not seen by the younger generation as being the in thing
It's not
anymore.
cool.
It's not cool.
I think the thing that, and I'm not going to go down on it because I understand that, you know, I'm not a smoker and I've never been a smoker, but it's become so antisocial now to smoke, whereas years ago, you were almost frowned upon. My understanding is, from people I've spoken to, that you were frowned upon if you didn't smoke. Because it was a social thing.
Yeah.
And now, in a pub, for example, there's more people stood outside having a smoke in the rain and then coming back into the pub, and that can't be an enjoyable experience, can it?
No.
I mean, the thing is with the smoking, just on a more funnier, lighter note, is that when they start doing this banning at this age, and as you get to a certain age, you won't be able to. I mean, so fast forward, say 20 years, 30 years time.
You're
you
brave.
Know, you're gonna. I'll still be here. I'll be sat recording this podcast. But fast forward 30 years time, are we really going to have like 50-year-old guys going into shops going, I can have some fags, and they're going to go, no, you
They'll be taking the granny in to buy them for them because they'll still be legally allowed to
I mean,
buy
the
them.
granny will
That's
be able to buy
the
them,
thing, isn't it? And that's why I don't understand how it's going to work when you've got people who could say, well, you can't smoke anymore, you're 25, you need to be 35 or what? I've not done the maths.
They'd literally have to ask for the driver's license, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you go in with an older friend or your mum or your dad or whatever, and they'd buy them for you still. You just won't be a child anymore.
Well, that's where we're going with it. You took the words right out of my mouth. How are you going to police that? You know, I mean, are you going to police going to be turning up because I've got a guy, he's 60, he's trying to buy some fags. I mean, he's just
you need to be 85.
You know, he's bought like 5 bottles of whiskey, but we're not selling him a pack of 10 Park Drive or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can't buy 10s anymore, just so you know.
Time at the bar, please.
So you know, you've got all that. How's that gonna work? It's just it's crazy. So I don't know. I'm a bit I'm like Kirk. You know, you start banning stuff, but at the same time smoking. I don't know. What about you? What's your thoughts, Rob?
I've said mine.
Oh yeah,
I've said mine. Yeah,
I didn't
it's
say
not going to
you.
make any difference. It'll phase out anyway. And on that wonderful note,
Yeah, absolutely.
Kurt needs to go out for a fag.
I'll see you all next
See
week.
you next
boys.
week.
Stick modern radio on. Don't cast the radio.
Don't catch the radio.
See you later, boys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Do you have a dilemma? Maybe a burning question you're longing to be answered? Or you just want to get in touch with us? Why not drop us a voice note or a message over email at innthechat@gmail.com. That's 2 N's, not 1 N, because 1 N, it doesn't matter. innthechat@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.